Top of the morning to everybody. Okay, last little video I said that I was going to make another one that was going to teach you something a little different. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop this in here and cut it a couple of times just for effect. I'm not actually editing anything on this. I'm just whoops, wrong one. Oh no, that was the right one. I'm just pulling some pieces out. Well, let's do this one here just for fun. Let's cut it there. Let's drop some other pieces in here of a different segment. And we'll just throw some pieces in here. Now, you notice what's happening here. We're building what's called a storyline. And Final Cut Pro X always has this darker area here called a storyline. And when you start building your spot or your show or whatever you're doing, you kind of use this first area, and you notice you can't leave a space. Okay, this is called a storyline. Whenever you move something around, it kind of like fills in the spot with something else. If I move this here, these other two clips are going to move in their place. Okay, now I can move it up or down, but no matter what, something's going to fill in its space. See that? When I start adding titles to the top of things, throwing things in there, whenever I move any other things, the titles move with the pieces of the storyline to which they are connected. Okay? Now there's other things we can do to avoid that. You see what happened there? It filled in the spot, but it didn't move the titles. It left the titles so that they would be connected to something else. And that's done by holding the little tilde key. You can slide and do all kinds of things without moving the titles. Without holding that key, see how they slide and connect? It's goofy. Now if they slide over here, well, I guess they do connect to that. And they're not connected to this anymore, so that's good. So this is the storyline, and most of your transitions will take place in the storyline. So if I put in a couple of transitions here, they're going to happen here. Okay? It doesn't make any weird moves or anything whenever you do transitions here. It just keeps everything there. Okay, now let's say I grab a bunch of clips and bring them down and put them on top. Now let's say I want these clips to be together. Well, for starters, first I'm going to throw in a transition here. And if I drop a transition on top of this clip, it's going to give me a transition for the ones before it and the ones after it. That wasn't the right transition. Well, it doesn't really matter, because what's happening is these clips don't have a lot of video on them, so I'll just deal with it. Let's move that back, and let's throw the lens flare here too. Yeah, I know. Now you notice this black bar up along the top that has suddenly appeared there. Well, guess what? This is a second storyline. Now things don't necessarily connect to this storyline. I believe I might be able to put some titles within it. No. This is like a mini storyline. Okay. Nothing actually connects to this storyline. This is like a mini storyline. And what happens is I can, by selecting the black bar, I can move the entire thing, or I can move pieces around inside of it. And it kind of messes things up, but you can move your transitions over. Maybe not that one. I think this one can. There we go. So it'll transition out of the storyline into this. And you can kind of see what it's doing, what it's trying to do. But what's neat is all of these clips are connected. If I take one out, it fills them in. See that? And I can remove the transition and it'll fill it in. So if I take another out, the rest of them fill in. and I can put them back in. Well, it doesn't want to create that transition there. We'll just have to do another one. Yeah, it's going to get shorter. I know that. All right. So I just wanted to show you this because sometimes these little mini storylines can get annoying. But if you were to create transitions, okay, so you've got your A roll and your B roll. And rather than cutting out of your A roll into your B roll, you're going to lay it on top. That makes sense. But then if you want to transition from one to the next, you have to realize that it's going to create a storyline, a mini storyline. And this mini storyline is made for the purpose of being able to keep all of your B-roll together. Now you can mess with it and move it around, but because there's transitions involved, sometimes it can get a little goofy. And it will try to fill in everything for you and try to move everything around for you because it's trying to figure out what you want to do. The other interesting thing is you cannot leave a gap in there. Just like the regular storyline, you can't leave a gap in the mini storyline. However, if you were to just remove the clips or even remove the entire storyline, you can do that. Just like that. So you say, I don't like that. I think it's, just toss all of it. There you go. You've done it. You just tossed all of it. All right. So that was a real quick little lesson on mini storylines, how they can affect you and how to deal with them if you want to use them. They're kind of nice because they can do some pretty cool stuff, especially if you're transitioning in your B-roll. But I just wanted to let you know how they are and what they are. All right. Leave a like if you desire. And if you have any questions or would like me to go over something, leave me a comment and I'll try my best to respond. All right. Thank you very much for watching.